Good afternoon, all of you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All of you mute your audio and turn on your video. Only 17 participants. How are you all?
Fine.
Have you gone through the notes which I have sent you yesterday? Am I audible, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you gone through the notes?
Yes,
Yesterday I have
ma'am.
sent the detailed summary of the unit 1. Have you seen it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, for your PT1 exam, okay, that unit 1 is included for the PT1 exam. Okay, and it's, I have told you, it's very simple. It's only MCQ. Okay.
Ma'am, send note, in what group
Yes.
that we need to write or print.
You need to take the printout. Okay. Need to take the printout.
Okay, ma'am.
And just go through the note. Okay. Means if at least one time, if you have, means if you try to write, it is good for you. It is better for you. Okay. Shall we begin our class? Only 20 participants. Let them join in between. Okay. It's 21. Okay, children. Last class we just discussed some factors about the outbreak of the revolution. Okay, means we already discussed before. Okay, what was the reason? Okay, what were the reasons for the outbreak of the revolution? We discussed about the social cause, political cause, okay, and the rise in population and the emergence of new middle class, new powerful section from the third estate, and also the influence of the philosophers. Okay, so all these reasons set the ground for the outbreak of the revolution. Okay, and last class we just discussed about the immediate cause for the outbreak of the revolution. Okay. Yes. Children. Delvin Shaju, turn on your video. Delvin. Christu. Nazrin. Nazrin. Angel or Susan. All of you turn on your video and sit. Okay, okay children. So I have told you, if the king, just listen over here, if the king want to impose more taxes, okay, he cannot do it by his own will. Okay, he need to call a meeting of the estate general. Okay, is it clear? We just discussed it about on the last class. Okay, that means if the king wanted to impose more taxes, he need to call out a meeting of the estate general. Okay, and so estate general, what do you mean by estate general? It's a political body in which the three representatives sent there, means in which the three estate, that means the all estates need to send their representatives. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
if the
ma'am.
king, if he want to impose further taxes on the people, that means the third estate people, okay, he cannot take his own decision. Okay, but he needs to call a meeting of the meeting of the estate general. Estate general means that it is a political body in which the three estates, the clergy, the nobility, and the third estate people, they all need to send their representatives. Okay, and through the election, they will decide. Okay, and through the election, they will propose, they will pass the bill for imposing the further taxes. Okay, and Louis XVI, he called out a meeting of these three estates. Okay, and 300 members from each estate. That means from first estate 300 members, second estate 300 members, and from the third estate total 600 members. Total 1,200 representatives were gathered in that hall. Okay, and the first and the second estate members were seated in two rows, okay, facing each other. But the third estate members, they need to stand at the back. They needed to stand at the back. Okay, and only the members of the, means only the members from the third estate that were powerful, that means the middle class, okay, they given representation. They were allowed to enter into the hall. The peasants, that means the weaker section of the society, means the weaker section or weaker members of the third estates were denied entry to the assembly hall. Do you understand the situation? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Children, are you hearing? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this total 1,200 representatives from all these three estates gathered there. Okay, and only the members from the third estate, that means the middle class only, were given permission to enter into the hall, and the persons, poor laborers, workers, and the women were denied entry. They denied entry to the hall. Okay, and also this third estate members, that means the middle class people, they need to stand at the back. Only the first and second estate members were seated. Okay, until that time, it was a practice that each estate had only one vote. That means clergy will cast one vote. Okay, then the noble people, nobility, that estate will cast one vote, and from the third estate, one vote. So you just imagine if the system is like that, who will get the majority and who will support the king?
I'm politician.
Clergy and nobility.
Yeah, sure. Clergy and the nobility. So they will get 2 votes out of 3. Okay, so the king can easily pass that proposal for introducing the new taxes. Do you understand? Do you
Yes, ma'am.
understand? Okay, clergy and nobility, naturally, okay, we know that they will surely, or they will means support the king. Okay, because they were exempted from paying the taxes and they are enjoying the privileges. Okay, but the third estate members, they need to pay further taxes. Already some taxes were levied from them. Still, they are levying extra taxes from these people. Okay, so till that time, it was a custom that each estate had only one vote. Okay, each estate has to cast one vote. Okay, so that naturally the king will get support from these first 2 estates, that means from clergy and the nobility, and he can pass the proposal without any problem. Okay, but this time the third estates were not agreed with that system, with that custom. Okay, they demanded that each estate, okay, each estate means each member would have to, get the chance to vote, as we are doing in a democratic country. See, what do you mean by universal adult franchise? Have you studied about it?
Ma'am, a person who reach age of 18 can vote.
Yeah. Okay, all adults, I mean, a person when he become an adult at the age of 80, he will get a chance to vote. Okay, so in a democratic country, we all citizens, when we become 18, when we turn into 80, we will vote. Okay, so here also they demanded that each members, means total 1200 representatives were gathered in that hall. So these all 1200 members needed to get a chance to vote. Is it clear, children? So then what will happen? 600 from clergy and the nobility, and 600 from third estate. Okay, so it would be equal. Then it would be equal. So the king, he cannot easily pass the proposal to impose further taxes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Aaron, there is no light in your room. Just switch on the light. Still it is dark. I can't see your face. Power cut. Then open the windows. Okay. Yeah. Delvin Shalu. Yes. I think first time I have seen you in the class. Most of the time you will, means you are hiding. Is it?
No.
Eh? Why you are hiding?
Eh,
Okay. Okay, children. So 600, that means 300 from clergy, 300 from nobles, okay, and 600 from the third estate. Okay, so if they all members, all these 1200 members, if they pass, means if they cast the vote, then the ratio would be equal. Okay, the ratio would be equal. So the king cannot easily pass the proposal for imposing the new taxes. Okay, so naturally Louis XVI did not, means he did not agree for this proposal. Okay, naturally Louis XVI, he did not approve this proposal, and the third estate members, they walked out from the assembly hall. And the third estate members, they walked out of the assembly hall. Okay, so this principle, that means all people, means all the representatives would need to get the vote. That idea was given to them by Rousseau. Okay, have you heard about Rousseau? Who was
Yes,
he?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me.
Philosopher.
Yeah, philosopher, in his book Social Contract. Okay, he gave inspirements, he inspired the people about the democratic ideas. That means all people, all adults will get a chance to vote and they can be a part of the government. Okay, so the people, the third estate people demanded that each and every member of the estate, of the third estate, need to get a chance to vote. But the king rejected this proposal. Okay, so the third estate members walked out from the assembly hall. Is it clear, my dear children?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see children, the king, okay, Louis XVI, as the financial situation of France was very weak during this time. Okay, the population began to rise up. Okay, then the price of the living things, means basic things, rise up. Okay, and even he need to pay huge taxes, huge interest to the loans. Okay, so naturally he was trying to impose further taxes on the people of the third estate. Okay, so that what he have done, he need to call, if he need to impose further taxes, he need to call out an assembly of estate general. Okay, and estate general, it is a political body in which the members, means all estates, send their representatives. Okay, and let me share the screen.
Your sound was slow.
I know that I'm trying to improve. Can you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but it is. Yes. Okay, so children, in order to impose further taxes, king cannot make his own decision, but he need to call an assembly of estate general. Okay, and estate general, it was a political body to which the three estates sent their representatives. Each estate need to send their representatives for the election or for the voting. Okay, and on 5th May 1789, okay, 5th May 1789.
Ma'am, your sound is not clear.
Let me try. Now is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children. So on 5th May 1789, 300 members from each of the first and second estate, okay, and 600 members from the third estate. That means a total of 1,200 representatives gathered in a splendid hall. They gathered here for a meeting. Okay, and according to the principle of the monarch, that means till that it was a custom that each estate had one vote. Okay, but this time the third estate members did not agree to this custom, and they demanded that each member would have to get a chance to vote. Okay. And I
Ma'am,
have
can
told you, the third estate members, they were represented by the middle class people who were very rich and powerful. Okay, but the poor members from the third estate, they denied entry to the hall. They denied entry to the hall, but they sent some, means their grievances, their problems, they have sent through some letters, which sent through the third estate members to them. Okay, and till that time it was a custom that, yes, only one vote, means from each estates need to cast one vote, but this time they demanded each member of, means from three estates, all the members should get a chance to vote, but the king rejected this proposal, and the third estate members walked out from the assembly hall. Okay. Okay. So on 20th June, okay, they gathered an indoor tennis court, the members of the third estate. Okay, they represented, they themselves viewed as spokesman for the whole French nation, because the third estate members, okay, they need to express, okay, their dissatisfaction against the injustice rule of Louis XVI. So they gathered on indoor stadium. They gathered on an indoor tennis court, okay, on 20th June 1789, and they declared themselves as National Assembly. They declared themselves as National Assembly, and they swore, Okay, they do not to dispose till the drafting of a new constitution for France. Okay, they demanded or they urged the need to draft a constitution for France. What do you mean by constitution?
Ma'am, ruling.
Can any one of you please tell me?
I'm ruling.
Constitution?
I'm ruled by
Ma'am,
the
laws.
Mm. Laws? Only laws?
Set of rules or
Set
regulations
of rules and regulation.
for
Yeah.
running the government.
Yes. That each and every citizen of a country need to follow. Okay, which guarantees equal rights for all citizens. Okay, or individual rights. Okay. So here they declared themselves, the third estate members, they declared themselves as National Assembly. Okay, and they took an oath not to dispose. Okay, they will not dispose till the drafting of a new constitution of France. That would limit the power of the monarch. That would limit the power of monarch or power of the king. And this movement was led by Mirabeau and Abesias. Okay, the Mirabeau, he was from a clergy family. Okay, but he knows the problems faced by the third estate members, and they stood with this third estate members to raise their voice against the members. And Abesias, he was a priest. Okay, he was a priest, and he has written a book named "What is the Third Estate?" What is the Third Estate by Abesias. He was a priest. Okay, then, so during this time, harvest was badly affected by a winter. Okay, and so naturally, again, we discussed that as the population increased, okay, during this time, and there was food scarcity. Okay, then again, harvest was affected by severe winter. Okay, and the price of the bread. Again, there was an increase in the price of the bread, and the bakers. Okay, they exploited the situation by hoarding the supply. What do you mean by hoarding? Hoarding?
I'm supplying baker.
Yes.
I'm supplying
Louder.
of baker.
Have you heard Malayalam Pultivippu? Have you heard about it?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, yes. They exploited the situation by hoarding the supply of the bread, means food materials. Okay, and that made the situation more critical. Okay, the price of the bread, okay, rose up. Okay, then the bakers exploited the situation. They hoarded the things. Okay, and on 14th July, the agitated crowd stormed and destroyed Bastille. Bastille means it is a fortress prison. They stormed the fortress prison, that is Bastille. Okay, means people need to stay long for long in the queue, long hours of queue for the means for, before the bakery for the things. Okay, for the food, that means for the bread. And the woman, they stormed, okay, a bakery during this time. So at the same time, the king sent a group of soldiers to Versailles. Okay, so all this crisis was happened during this time. And on 14th July, the agitated crowd, they stormed and destroyed Fortress prison in Bastille. That marked the beginning of the French Revolution. Okay, children, if the king, if he want to impose further taxes, he need to call out a meeting of the Estates General. Okay, Estate General, it is a political body, okay, in which all the three estates needed to send their representatives. Okay, and on 5th May 1789, Louis XVI, he called an assembly of Estate General, and 300 members from each, means from clergy and from the nobility, and from the third estate 600 members, that means total 1200 members were gathered in an assembly hall. Okay, and this third estate members were represented by the middle class people, okay, who were very rich and powerful. The poorer members of the third estate, they denied entry to the hall. Okay, and till that time, according to the principle of the monarch, it was a custom that estate had only, each estate had to cast only one vote. Okay, but the third estate members this time, they did not agree to this proposal, and they demanded that each member would have to get a chance to vote. Okay, and but the king, naturally, he was against this proposal and he rejected it, and the members walked out from the assembly hall. Okay, then, so the third estate members, they viewed themselves, okay, as spokesman for the whole French nation. They gathered, okay, in an indoor tennis court on 20th June. Okay, and they declared themselves as National Assembly and swore, okay, not to disperse till the drafting of a new constitution of France that would limit the power of the monarch. Okay, and this movement was led by Mirabeau and Abbe-Sieyès. They were both from a clergy and the noble family. Okay, and then the situation was again, it became worse, okay, because a severe winter affected the harvest during this period. Okay, again, that led to the increase in the price of the bread and roll, and the bakers exploited the situation by hoarding the things. Okay, and this made the situation very worse. People need to stand in long queues for the, I mean, before the bakery for the things. Okay, so on 14th July, the agitated crowd, okay, at the same time, I forgot to tell you, at the same time, the king sent his troops, okay, into Versailles. But on 14th July, the agitated crowd stormed and they destroyed Bastille, the fortress prison that marked the beginning of the French Revolution. Okay, children, have you noted down the points?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you repeat that prison's name?
Which one?
Ma'am, prison that the people destroyed.
Bastille. Bastille. Okay. Raya. Nabil. Nabil.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the summary of what all things we have discussed right now? Okay. Nabil. Are you there? Delvin Shaju. Delvin Shalu.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Tell me.
ma'am,
Huh?
What do you mean by estate general? Nabil? Sorry, Delvin?
Huh? It-
Rachel?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me?
Ma'am, it is a political
Mm.
body where three, uh, three, three parties, three states and their
Representative.
representatives.
Okay, it's a political body in which the three estates send their representative. Okay, and why Louis XVI call out a meeting of this assembly means estate general?
ma'am, it is relation of, ma'am,
Isha,
ma'am,
Isha, can you tell me?
increasing the population of rising population of bread.
It's not audible.
To increase the tax.
Yeah. If we want to impose further taxes, okay, he need to call out the meeting, okay, of the Estates General. Okay, and on 5th May 1789, Louis XVI call out a meeting of this Estate General. Okay, and how many representatives were gathered in the hall? Lena?
600.
How many representatives were there?
600.
600? Only 600?
1,200.
1000.
1,200. That means 300 from clergy, 300 from nobles, and 600 from the third estate. That means total 1,200 members were there for the meeting. Okay, and till that time, what was the custom?
Only one vote.
Good. Each estate will get a chance, means they will get a chance to, it's only one vote for each estate. Okay, that was the custom, or that was the practice followed by the monarch. Okay, but what was the demand of the third estate members?
Each
Ma'am,
of
rising
them
population
vote.
bread.
Each of them 100 vote.
Yeah,
Right.
only Rachel is, Fizan, can you tell me? What was the
Right.
demand of the third estate members?
Rising population of bread.
Louder.
Rising population of breads.
Ah,
Rising population of breads.
it's not clear.
Ma'am, rising population of breads.
No. My question is, okay, till that time, okay, it was the custom in France was that each estate had only one vote. Okay, but during this time, the third estate members demanded that, what was their demand?
Each member wanted a vote.
Raya, can you tell me, Raya?
Each member would have one vote.
Yeah. Okay. Each member, that means 1,200 representatives were there. Okay. So all these members would get a chance to vote. Do you understand, my dear children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, okay. But the king rejected this proposal. Why? Can you tell me the reason? See, children, if only one vote, just imagine the three estate need to cast only one vote, then clergy will cast one vote, nobility means that people will cast one vote, and the third estate member will have one vote. Okay, so naturally, the first two estate will support the king, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
then majority will approve the proposal for the new taxes. Okay, so he can easily pass the proposal for the tax. Okay, but this time, third estate members, they demanded that each member would have to get a chance to vote. Okay, then it will be, tell me, it would be 300 plus 300, that means 600 from the first two estate, and third estate members 600. Okay, so the ratio would be equal. Okay, so the king cannot means pass the proposal for imposing more taxes. So naturally, he was against this proposal, and the third estate members walked out from the assembly hall. Okay, and they viewed themselves as spokesman for the whole French nation, the third estate members. Okay, for the whole French nation, they demanded that they swore themselves, they means they declared themselves as National Assembly, and they demanded that they will dispose only after drafting a new constitution for France that would limit the power of the monarch. Okay, do you understand? A constitution, so that I have asked you, what do you mean by constitution? It is a set of rules and regulation that should be followed by each and every citizen. And also it guarantees individual rights. Okay, so they were busy for drafting the constitution, but this time, who led this moment? Who led this moment?
Mira.
Rabu and Abesias, both of from clergy and the noble family. Okay, but still they they stood with the third estate members. Okay, and during this time, a winter. Okay, the harvest was badly affected by a winter. The price of the things, that means bread, again rose up. Okay, and the women need to stand for long hours in queue for the food materials. Okay, means for the living things. So an angry crowd, okay, an angry crowd, they stormed a bakery. Okay, at the same time, the king sent his troops. Okay, and then last, what it happened? The outbreak of the revolution was happened. They stormed and destroyed Fortress Bastille. Okay, Fortress prison, that is Bastille. They stormed and destroyed that prison. Okay, and that marked the beginning of the French Revolution. Okay, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Read the textbook. Okay, only the first unit is for the exam. Okay, PT1 exam, only the first unit, that is French society during the late 18th century. Okay, so next class when you come, read that chapter, that means read the first portion and come. I'll take a test for you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, children, bye for today. See you on the next class.
Thank you.